Mediocre Murad wants to be productive. He genuinely wants to do the right thing, but he finds it a challenge to stay on track. He believes that just one quick fix will solve all his problems. Yet he doesn't realize that there are several hidden habits and distractions that are holding him back. Meanwhile, exceptional Imran understands that the modern world is designed to distract you. It's designed to stop you being productive. Instead of thinking one thing will fix everything, he has refined his whole lifestyle to churn out high quality work. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, my brothers. My name's Pablo and I am a productivity coach dedicated in helping young Muslim men unlock their full potential. So alhamdulillah, I've uploaded every single day over the past year on various social media platforms, and as a result I've picked up many life-changing productivity tactics along the way. So whether you're an aspiring Muslim content creator, aspiring entrepreneur, or simply a student, I invite you to my free productivity course called Fajr Focus. Link in the description below. You see, back in the day, I wasn't the productive type. I'll be real, I was that guy who was lazy, whether that was GCSEs, A-levels, or university. I was always that person that wanted to play FIFA, watch YouTube, or later on in life, go to motives, events, restaurants. I was always that guy that was just seeking pleasure. All I wanted to do was have fun. However, when I did feel the pressure to perform, for assignments, essays, exams, I'd find it a challenge to actually sit down and do the work. It'd feel like an uphill battle. You see, I genuinely thought that it was a challenge to do the work. I'd only do it for the sake of education. However, it wasn't until October 2023 of last year that I realized that these were all misconceptions about work. It was at that moment in time in my life that I finally realized it's not a chore to do the work, but it can actually be fun. And the reason why I thought that, doing the work, revising, doing the essay, assignment was impossible was simply due to my habits. I was doing all the bad habits. And so alhamdulillah, by the permission of Allah, I've been able to fine-tune my day, making productivity extremely easy. So nowadays, I don't even find it a struggle to wake up, do the work, record, do this, do that. It feels second nature to me, and inshallah it can be the same for you. So the first habit you lot need to do, and I think this is the most important one, is going to sleep after you've prayed Fajr. You see, the thing is here, alhamdulillah, as Muslims, we have been blessed to be obligated to wake up and pray in the early hours of the morning every single day. Whether it's a Monday, whether it's a Saturday, whether it's an Eid, you have to wake up and pray Fajr every single day. And the thing is, many of you guys don't even utilize this powerful advantage that you have. And you see, the thing is, just over a year ago, I was exactly the same. I'd wake up, pray Fajr, alhamdulillah, and then I'll go back to sleep. Wake up at 9 a.m, 10 a.m, even 11 a.m. However, staying awake after Fajr is probably the best productivity tactic you can implement in your life. Firstly, there's literally barakah in the morning. As the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "Oh Allah, bless my nation in their early mornings." So firstly, there's substantial blessings in waking up early and doing work. Furthermore, when you do work, first thing in the morning, after praying Fajr, of course, your cerebral power is at the highest. And the reason why this is important is because it makes doing the hard work very easy. So essentially, in a day, you have a limited amount of cognitive power. Let's say it's at 100%. And slowly over the course of the day, it reduces from 100% to 95% to 90%. And then by the end of the day, it's probably at 10%, 20%, 30%, depending what you've done. However, no matter what you do, whether you do deep work or check your phone or watch YouTube, whatever the case may be, whatever you do in a day, your cognitive power slowly reduces. So that's why in the evening you find it a struggle to sit down and do the work, because your cognitive power is at like 35%, but the task requires 50, 60, 70, maybe 90%. However, in the mornings, your mind is sharper, and so therefore you can do work, and it'll be much easier, I guarantee you, because your cognitive power will be at maybe 95% because you go pray Fajr, do dhikr, whatever. But the task that you need to do is only 70%. So of course, your brain is capable in, doing the task. Lastly, there's going to be limited distractions in the early hours of the morning. The reason for this is that most people are asleep. 5 a.m, 6 a.m, 7 a.m. The majority of the world are asleep at that time. And so you can utilize these hours to your advantage. You You won't have that worry that someone will come into your room, someone will message you, call you, this thing will happen, that thing will happen. Furthermore, preserving your mental energy, which can be used on what? Your work. See, it's a win-win when you do things first thing in the morning. So from tomorrow, stay up after Fajr and do work. Another bad habit that a lot of you guys do that is stopping you from being productive is not planning your days. You see, we've all heard the famous saying, if you fail to plan, then plan to fail. But none of you guys really understand this phrase. You see, the thing is, yeah, we all have these big goals. Whether that's becoming a millionaire, whether that's getting to like 10% body fat, whether that's getting 1 million subscribers, we all have these big goals that we want to reach. You see, the thing is, yeah, Allahumma barak is good because we do need goals in this life. However, the reason why you guys never make progress is simply due to the fact you don't plan your days accordingly. I want you to really think about this thought for a second. Why do schools, universities give you timetables at the start of every single year? Firstly, it makes you organized. You know exactly what lessons you have at different times. Okay, cool. At 9 a.m. I've got science, so I need to go to the science block. Oh, 10 a.m. I've got geography, so I have to go to the geography building. You know exactly where you need to go at what times. What does this provide? Structure. This provides a sort of structure to your school life. Because imagine they said, oh, just go wherever you feel like it. You would go to your favorite lessons, you may bunk lessons, you may not just do anything at all. This is the same thing that happens when you don't plan your day. You'll just do the easiest tasks first, then delay the hard tasks that actually move the needle. You know those ones that are high leverage but very cognitively demanding? You'll just skip them and delay them if you don't plan your days. Furthermore, and this is the best thing about the timetable, is that it keeps you structured on your goals. So for example, at school, they give you 5 science lessons every single week. The reason for this is because you need 5 lessons a week, every week for 30, 40, 50 weeks, I don't know how long school is nowadays, to cover the whole subject for the exam in May or June, July, whatever the case may be. And this is the same thing you have to do with your goals. You have to plan, alright, cool, how much time do I truly need to conquer my goals? Okay, cool, I need 3 hours every day, 7 times a week. Okay, cool, 21 hours of your week goes towards your goals. So therefore, you cover a sufficient amount of time to do the tasks that move the needle, that get you from A to B. Because the thing is, yeah, you'll know, alright, cool, I have enough time to take action and achieve my dreams and aspirations. The third habit that is extremely bad, which all of you guys have, and is stopping you from being productive, is excessive phone use. You see, the thing is, yeah, the phone in the modern day is basically a necessary thing that we all need to have. And furthermore, it can actually be used to your advantage. You can actually use it to make money, seek knowledge in the deen, or learn a skill. The phone can be used in many ways to improve yourself. You can create a very good future, but you can also use it as a detriment. It can also be a tool that stops you from achieving your goals. And that's what many of you guys are doing right now. You're using your phone in a negative way that only brings negative outcomes. Because the thing is, yeah, the first thing you guys do when you wake up is what? Check your phone. Check Instagram, TikTok, WhatsApp. If that bint has messaged you, this, that, the third, all you're doing is scrolling in the first 5 seconds of waking up. How do you think you're going to have a productive day? How do you think you're going to be successful if the first thing you do is check if that bint has messaged you? And then what happens? Throughout the day, you're constantly checking your phone, going on all these apps, checking if that person messaged you, scrolling aimlessly on TikTok, Instagram. And then when you finally decide, you know what? Time to sit down, what happens? You don't even do 5% of the task. You whip out that stupid phone and check Instagram. You check TikTok. So we need to understand why excessive phone use is bad. Because I can say it, but we need to understand the science behind it, the reasoning behind it. So as I've mentioned before in this video, you have a limited amount of cerebral power. So you have 100% cognitive ability when you wake up, but you check your phone, it goes down by 5%. I don't know the science specifically, but it goes down. You check your phone again, it goes down, it goes down. Every time you check your phone, it goes down. It's not going up. And the reason why it reduces your cognitive power is because you're getting all this stimulation, information overload. You're just getting a bunch of nonsense in your face. And this is exacerbated by the fact that the phone is extremely addictive and you check it every 5 seconds. Because of all that dopamine you release, going on TikTok, checking that message, watching YouTube videos. And so what happens when you finally try to do the work? You find it impossible and you want to check your phone. You want to go on YouTube. You want to ask Google stupid questions. Why? Because it doesn't excite you. The work doesn't stimulate dopamine like checking your phone, like going on YouTube, like doing anything with social media. And so when you finally push yourself to do the work, you simply can't, because it doesn't excite you. It doesn't release dopamine in the same way it would when you check Instagram, when you check TikTok. It doesn't excite you because you're used to this amount of dopamine, and then the work is down here. The fourth habit that is stopping you from being productive is task switching all the time. You see, the thing is, many of you guys will be doing one task, you're concentrating, and then all of a sudden you'll switch to another task out of nowhere. And I understand sometimes that you don't even do it on purpose. It's not a case where you're doing the work, you can't be asked, and then you do something else. Sometimes you get a thought thinking, right, I actually need to do that other task because, the deadline is closer than, the deadline for this task. So then you switch. However, it's for this exact reason why you can't make progress towards your goals. You see, the thing is, the science says it takes about 23 minutes to regain your focus. And so the thing is, when you're constantly switching from this task to that task to this task again, you never enter a flow state, which is extremely important for making progress. You see, the thing is, a flow state will be the reason you produce high quality work. The reason for this is simple. You're focused on one simple task. Have you ever heard an athlete say, you know what, I got in the zone and I done this and I done that? Or have you heard people in general say, I got in the zone, I got in a rhythm? You may understand what they mean, but never truly felt it. So essentially what it means, they got in a rhythm and their sole focus was on the task at hand. For example, a goalkeeper, was making like 10 saves in the space of 10 minutes because he wanted to defend his team. He didn't want to lose. Or that basketball player was shooting 2s and 3s, consistently because he wanted to win. And the thing is, you can achieve the same outcome in your own endeavors. You can enter the zone if you're scripting the content, editing videos, or even if you're learning a high income skill. It's simple. The reason why you can produce better quality work is because you're only focused on that one task. You're not thinking about anything else. All your mental power, all your cerebral energy is directed to that one task, with every single thought you're getting centered around the work that you need to do, the work that's in front of you. And so, of course, your creativity will flourish and your problem-solving capabilities will increase drastically. And furthermore, when you're focused, you literally complete the tasks, not in half the time, but I would say in a quarter of the time. And the last habit that you guys do on a daily basis that is stopping you from being productive is saying yes to everything. So in Newton's third law, he states, every action has an opposite and equal reaction. So what does this mean for self-improvement and productivity? So every time you say yes to that distraction, every time you say yes to that desire, every time you say yes to that motive, you're directly saying no to what? To your goals. You're directly declining making progress towards your dreams and aspirations. So what does this look like? So firstly, when you engage in that distraction, when you open up your phone and check Instagram, even though you have to do some deep work, you're basically saying, the distraction is more important than my dreams. The reason for this is because you're wasting your time pointlessly scrolling on IG rather than doing the things that matter. Or for example, you say yes to your desires. You say yes to the junk food. You say yes to haram actions. You say yes to video games. You're directly saying no to what? Your goals. You may be wondering why. If I just say yes now, I do it for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 1 hour if it's video games. After it's fine, like I've done it and I can focus on the work. But this never happens, does it? It's not a case where you play video games for an hour or two and then you get to work. Because firstly, you'll be thinking about video games. Doing those hard tasks will release little dopamine in comparison to playing video games. Or if you say yes to every motive and event. Even though I agree, you do need times with your friends and family. However, it becomes a problem when it directly affects your goals. So how does this look like? So your friends say, let's go to this restaurant. It's in central London. By the time you come back, it'll be 10 p.m, 11 p.m, maybe even 12 at night. And you go to sleep and you need to wake up for 5:30. You'll only be on 5 hours of sleep, 5.5 hours. So what does that mean? You'll find it much harder to sit down and do the work. You'll most likely be like, you know what? Let me just pray Fajr and go back to sleep. because that's happened to me many times. Or you saying yes to that motive where you know you'll be eating junk food will directly affect you the next day when you do deep work, when you're trying to edit the videos, when you're trying to revise for the exam. You see, the thing is, being productive isn't as difficult as it seems. It doesn't require you to be gifted, special, intelligent. All you need to do is identify and understand the underlying reasons as to why you can't do the work. Once you recognize what's stopping you from doing the work, it becomes extremely easy to take actionable steps to mitigate these issues. Remember, the key lies in self-awareness and making choices that align with your goals. Alhamdulillah, I went from some guy who was extremely unproductive, waking up late and doing all the bad habits, and by the permission of Allah, I've been able to turn it around and be productive. Remember, productivity is the path to your dream life.